I'm Steven Jondrew.
I'm Chris Farrell.
And I'm Steve Boyd, and we're the hosts of Walking the Walking Dead,
a podcast member of the Gonna Geek Network.
Just like the one you're listening to now.
The opinions expressed are those of each individual.
Check out other podcasts at GonnaGeekNetwork.com.
Now get ready, because geekiness begins in 3,
2,
1.
You have been granted clearance by Director Phil Coulson. Stand by for S.H.I.E.L.D. debriefing. All information to be discussed here is classified and may only be discussed among agents granted clearance by the S.H.I.E.L.D. Director.
Now it's time for your scheduled debriefing. I'm Agent Stargate Pioneer.
I'm Agent Haley.
I'm Agent Lauren.
And I'm Adam.
Welcome to Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D., a Marvel Comic Universe podcast. This is podcast number 63 on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Season 2, Episode 11, Aftershocks. This podcast is recorded on Thursday, March 5th, 2015. Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. is a fan-based podcast on the ABC television show Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Marvel's Agent Carter, and the general Marvel comic universe.
Because я черная вдова.
If you'd like to talk to us about that, you can find all of our contact information on our website, legendsofshield.com. We have a voicemail line, 844-THE-BUS-1. That's 844-843-2871. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr by searching for Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. And you can visit our forums available at forums.gonnageek.com, or you can search for Gonna Geek on the Tapatalk app.
Hey, we have somebody new with us this week. Adam, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Sounded like you almost said Agent Carter there during the intro.
He wanted to.
And can't blame you after 7 weeks of that.
It was an awesome run. I wasn't here for the finale. Unfortunately, I didn't get to say anything about it, but it was awesome. And I'm glad we saw it. And I'm really hoping that we see more of that universe, if not in Agent Carter, somewhere else in the Marvel U.
I'm hoping they do some flashbacks in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. if we don't get more of it.
Yeah, I'm really hoping for season 2, though. I mean, come on, don't let me down. Don't let me down, ABC and Marvel.
Right.
Don't let me down.
Well, we know we're going to get more Haley Atwell in Avengers, right?
Yes.
Right.
And Ant-Man, I thought, too.
Yeah, she is on the IMDb page.
Okay. I have my suspicions on what she will be used for in Avengers 2, and I will keep that to myself for now, because it might be a little spoilerly because of stuff I've learned.
Well, speculation is not spoilers, but...
Yeah, I don't want to say anything about it right now, but I have my suspicions. We'll see. In any event, I will love to see her. It was a great 8 weeks. Thank you very much, ABC. And I want to say a big thank you last week to Jay and Lobster. Thank you for stepping in while Lauren was getting her Black Widow belt and I was off getting my Director Shield. So thank you guys very much. And thank you to Neil stepping in the week before. Really appreciate you being on the podcast. So thank you to our great community for helping us out when we were dwindling in numbers due to real life stuff.
Yeah, thank y'all so much.
I was here. I'm always here, guys.
And thank you to Haley for being here and holding down the fort.
Driving the bus into a wall.
You did get to drive the bus last week.
Yeah. You had to deal with the aftermath of that, but ha ha ha.
Yeah, we might not let that happen again, so.
Yeah, you forgot to refill the gas tank, didn't you?
There might have been a few dents in the door.
And now the price of gas is up, so Dad's got to fill up the bus with more expensive stuff. So, yeah, thanks for that.
Everyone knows you never return a car to your parents with a full tank of gas. That's just wasting money.
Yeah. I can't say I haven't done that before either. It's even worse with the boat, too, by the way. Also, just one last thing before we start. Haley, you have another plug for our lovely weekend in May?
Yeah, Geekation, guys. It's in Chicago. We've mentioned this a few times before. It's May 15th to the 17th. If you want to come in a day early or stay a day late, a lot of other people will be doing that as well. It's not officially sanctioned by the Gonna Geek Podcast Network, but it is a good time to be had by all.
Woohoo! Good times!
Woo!
But if you visit gonnageek.com, you'll see on the right-hand side, if you scroll down a little ways, there's the Geekation banner, and that's got all the information that's available at this point.
Yeah, I actually haven't had a chance to look at it since I got back from my training, but I'm looking forward to it. I've heard Steven has made some changes. I don't know if that's true or not, so I'll take a look at it and we'll get back to you next week.
It's a new banner, because up until this week, it had the banner from last year.
Oh, the 8-bit banner from last year. That was kind of sad. Okay. Well, starting things off, we have a party of our own. We have our Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. back. Yay!
Yay!
Yes.
Aftershocks. It was directed by Bill Gerhardt, who has quite the resume in the geekdom. This is his 4th episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He's done 4 Torchwood episodes as director, 10 Sons of Anarchy episodes, 2 Once Upon a Time, and 5 Walking Dead. And he has an extensive cameraman resume too, so he's been around the block a little bit. And one reason why this episode was so good, to me at least, is that our pals, executive producers, co-executive producers, Marissa and Jed, were actually writing the episode.
Hey!
So absolutely, it's no wonder why this was such a great episode, at least to me. What did you guys think?
I loved it.
I liked it.
Yeah, it was good to see. Good to be back with these people.
It was.
Ah, yes.
It was. There was about a minute of recap in there, which I didn't need because I had just watched the episode. It was still on my DVR. I keep it along. You know, that's what I do. That's how I roll. I keep the last episode on the DVR so I can watch it right before the next one airs. But there was about a minute of recap followed by...
Awesomeness.
Yeah. Followed by the Inhuman transformation, and we get to see our gal Sierra again. It was so good to see her.
Yes!
Yeah.
See her and not with parts removed. That was nice. Yeah.
I wonder if at some point we're going to have flashbacks involving her and Sousa in the same episode.
I was thinking the exact same thing. Like, she was alive in the 40s. She could have
She was.
met him. Oh, that'd be awesome.
I would love that. Flashback to my Dollhouse shipper days.
Yeah.
Which was so long ago.
Yeah, I just finished watching Dollhouse on Netflix a couple weeks ago.
It might be time for another Dollhouse rewatch.
I think so. Oh my god, I'm watching so much TV right now.
As I mentioned before, I still haven't seen the first season of Dollhouse.
You're not missing too much.
Right.
I liked it.
But, you know, I would get a little bit of the storyline that I didn't get later on and so on and so forth. But I just need the time. And how do you come up with time when I've got such great shows in front of me like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Flash and Arrow and Justified is coming to an end. And
Well, if Justified is coming to an end, that opens up another slot.
I know. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I picked up Star Wars Rebels this year.
Oh my god. Okay, taking time out of this to say, everybody watch Star Wars Rebels now. The finale was just on, and it was a fantastic finale, and even if you were a little shaky by the beginning, oh my god, the finale is so worth it, especially if you're a fan of Clone Wars. Everybody watch it now. Okay.
So I guess that Black Widow training gave you the ability to talk a really long time without taking breaths in between?
Yeah.
Yeah, they taught her a special breathing technique where she doesn't need to inhale.
Uh-huh.
Yes, folks, that was not the magic of editing. That was her real life doing that.
You know how, like, trumpet players can do circular breathing and stuff?
Yes.
So that they, yeah. It's kind of like that.
I am a trumpet player and I have circular breathed before.
I'm a drummer. Breathing didn't really matter.
No.
No, but
No.
you had to carry that heavy crap around.
No, we didn't. I was in jazz band, not marching band.
Oh, nice,
Yeah.
nice. Well, somebody else who's not carrying anything around is Sky because she spends the entire episode in quarantine.
Okay, so they still have her in quarantine, but not Mac. I didn't think that made any sense.
He was cleared by medical professionals.
BS is what I say to that.
I guess because he was only, no. I was going to say because he was only exposed to mental stuff, but how do they know that?
Yeah, and how do they know it's really out of his system? It's alien stuff. How do they know that they could even test for it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it completely is. He was acting a lot like Ward did when he had the Berserker staff back in season 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he should have been in quarantine at least as long as Sky was, maybe longer.
Agreed. I guess they wanted her there longer because she was like at the epicenter of it.
Right.
Haha, epicenter.
Ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
Because the story demanded it. I get it. But I didn't read the script, so I didn't know that.
Yeah, you know, we can have Marvel or ABC or whoever give you the script beforehand. Would you like that?
So I'll know why. Oh, well, yeah, but
And once again, both these lovely ladies are available for Marvel for you to pick them up right now. They just have to have a few hours available every week to be on this podcast and then whatever other podcasts that they may or may not.
yeah, I need a few more hours than that.
Yeah. But you guys are available and you have lovely ways of dealing with the storylines. And then all they have to do is give you the scripts and then you'll know in advance. So
Yep, Marvel, call me.
call me.
I'm available immediately.
Yeah.
I'd settle for getting the script the day after the episode aired.
Well, I think you probably can.
Yeah, there's sites that do that.
A transcript, at least.
Yeah, I'll give you a transcript site. We've got a hold of one. I just didn't link it for this episode. Now, for this episode, Coulson starts out, he's raving mad. He wants somebody to pay for Trip.
Well,
yeah.
that's understandable. So the first time I watched the show, they're wheeling out a wheelbarrow. I'm like, okay, well, they're moving stuff. Second time I watch it, I saw Trip's face.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, I caught that too.
And then she's like, be careful with that. I'm like, oh no!
Oh, Trip.
No, I will never be over Trip.
Simmons, not doing so good.
No, she's cleaning the place up and then she's got to flood it.
Yep.
We never see it flooded, though.
No, it has, to my knowledge, not been flooded yet.
They didn't have the budgets.
Okay.
Well, I assumed they're saving their budget to do sky quaking effects, and they're not going to spend it on showing that being flooded.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But do we assume it's happened?
I assumed that as soon as she left, that was happening. I didn't think that was something they were going to wait around on.
Yeah, that's pretty much what she said. I doubt she would have gone back without that, especially with how
Vehement she was.
upset she was about everything.
Which, okay, I wanted to ask y'all about this. Do you think that Simmons' characterization in this episode was believable?
Huh.
Or do you think that it was too sudden?
You know, in the aftermath of a loss like that, people do strange things, so I buy it.
Yeah, and they don't really have any personal experience with any, well, I'll just use the term metahuman since it's more convenient, that stayed good through the whole episode. Closest they had was Sif, but she's technically an alien.
Are you talking about when she pulled her gun and started shooting?
Oh,
No, I'm talking about her deciding that,
Her scorched earth.
yeah, her scorched earth policy regarding the Inhumans' DNA and everything, the Terrigen mists.
And with Reyna, you know, maybe letting her get put down isn't the worst thing.
Yeah.
No.
Well, that part I could believe because they've had so many problems with Reyna in the past.
Well, it's not just Simmons, though. Sky is blaming herself, too. Both of them are.
Well, yes. Especially, I mean, Sky, okay, Trip was, for all intents and purposes, and for all that we know, already dead. But that quake caused him to break apart before her eyes, which can't feel good when it's somebody you care about just breaks apart into little bits before your eyes and you know that you are the cause of that.
Well, wait a minute. Does she know that she...
Well, she knows that she's causing these little quakes.
You think she's picked that up from the get-go?
I think she does.
By the end of the episode.
She at least knew after the thing in the quarantine, when everyone was arguing and she started shaking the room.
All right.
I think she knows. Because Reyna is talking about her insides feel like gravel and stuff. I imagine that Sky has to feel different.
Huh. Because she never verbalizes anything.
Well, no. But then again, who would she tell it to?
Yeah.
She'll probably tell Fitz next episode when they're talking about it more.
Well, he knows now.
Yeah, but he doesn't know what it is. He just knows she's changed.
But again, she's been changed on not even a cellular level, on a DNA level.
That was good mirroring, by the way, because it starts off with Sierra. I mean, I know she's got a name. I will always call her Sierra. Sorry.
Jaying.
Jaying? Okay. So Fitz is mirroring...
But let's just keep calling her Sierra because it makes me happy.
Okay.
Yes.
So Fitz is mirroring Sierra because Sierra is bringing these people through their Terrigenesis, right? At the beginning.
Yes.
And that is what Fitz ends up doing at the end. And Cal, oh man, he didn't do anything with Reyna.
Oh man, he was harsh.
Oh, he's such a douchebag.
I wonder if it's because of how she changed or just he didn't need her anymore.
I don't think he cared about her.
No.
I think that was pretty clear from the get-go. He was using her as a tool to get to Sky, Daisy, and beyond that, I don't think he cared for her at all. He just had that one singular goal in mind.
Yep.
She wanted him to be her father figure and her family and all this stuff, and he just did not see her that way at all.
Right. And he, prior to the events that have happened in the last couple of episodes here, he is the only one who has actual experience that we know of, at least, with the Inhumans. Cal does, right?
Yeah.
Right. Well, we've got Gordon now.
Yeah, we got Gordon now.
Right. But Cal was the only one who we had seen
Before this.
that had any experience prior to the transformations of Reyna and Sky. And so he just didn't deal with it at all like Sierra would have. He's just not built for it, or he's too consumed with the stupid rage that's going through his system or whatever.
Okay, so in that scene between him and Reyna, I was trying to figure out what Sky's mother ever saw in him. Because he just seems like a colossal douchebag.
I imagine he was a much different person before all that stuff went down. I have to imagine that maybe he put all that passion to a much better use.
Yeah, I think when he found Sierra all cut up, I think that transformed him. That was his Terragenesis himself.
Yeah, it's like some people, they're very, very driven, and when they're focused on good things, it's like, yay, you have a lot of energy and it's very good things. But it's like Eddie Izzard has a joke about how nobody cares if you kill your own people. It's like Stalin killed 14 million of his own people, and like, oh, he must get up very early in the day. And I'm not saying that, oh, he's a very industrious guy, because that's not the joke. But I have to imagine that all that energy that Cal was maybe putting into being a doctor and helping people and starting his family and all this stuff, that he found himself at odds. And instead of rerouting that energy and putting it into healing himself and all that stuff, he put it towards revenge, and it twisted him.
I think he just snapped.
That too.
Yeah, and he's been snapped for a long time, so I don't think he recognizes any. He needs some serious mental help, and he's not going to get it.
Yeah.
He really does need help.
Yeah. So, moving on a little bit, Mr. Bloom, somebody else that probably also needs mental help. Does he have any background in the comics at all, or was he just like, okay, we're going to throw in some Hydra name in here?
I didn't know the name, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Me either.
And I thought that was a waste of the actor, too, because he's a pretty good actor.
Yeah, okay, so that guy, if I remember right, is actually in the end of... Yeah, here he is. He was the guy that's talking to Strucker in that end scene.
Oh.
Octavian, yeah, I recognize the actor because I've seen him in a bunch of stuff before.
Wow. I'm going to have to go back and see that.
Okay, wait. This wasn't Bloom. Bloom was a different guy, but the guy that was talking to...
Strucker?
Yeah, what was his name?
Was it the one guy that they didn't kill?
The one guy that they didn't kill.
Okay, that makes sense. I think I wrote Rich White Guy.
Dr. List.
Oh, that's a comic book villain name.
Yeah.
Yeah, at first I thought it was an alias, but no, that's this guy. He's been in a bunch of other movies, which is how I recognize him. And yeah, when I saw him, I'm like, wait, is it? And watching it again, I'm like, oh yeah, it definitely is. This is how they're connecting it back to Baron von Strucker. And
they did mention him a few times. I was sort of wondering whether he's at the same level as these guys, or if they are superior in Hydra.
Well, I don't know, but they were talking to vacancy in management positions, so...
A lot more now.
Okay, the way they phrased that, I'm like, what, are you going to put a job listing on Monster?
Monster is a good place to put it, actually.
Management position.
Actually, okay, you know how on Craigslist, now that they took away the...
I don't go on Craigslist. What are you talking about? The personal stuff?
Well, it's sort of... Okay, the sex for money section, they took that out after the Craigslist murders a few years ago. There was a different name for it, but I can't remember. So now people have all sorts of codes and stuff on the Craigslist personal section. I bet it's something like that.
A Hydra code?
Yeah, but instead of like so many roses or whatever, they're like, do you like octopuses? Octopodes? Whatever?
Well, it sounds like they could also recruit from Radio Shack management, from what Bakshi said.
Right? Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, they said they thought that Radio Shacks were secret Hydra outposts. It made me think, Hydra must not be doing so good.
No. They got to find another franchise to take over.
Yeah, they do now. Yeah. And what are you going to do? Best Buy? They're going to...
Maybe Starbucks.
Yeah, there you go. Because Best Buy ain't going to make it.
No. I mean...
Target's not going to make it.
Amazon, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, but Amazon doesn't have too many brick and mortar stores.
I know, but they could go to, like, their warehouses.
They'll just have random warehouses scattered across the country.
Yeah. There you go.
Amazon actually is even closing down one of their distribution centers around here.
Really?
Aw.
Yeah.
So not so many stuff in one day then for you.
It's okay.
Sucks.
I'm still guaranteed 2-day shipping. Doesn't matter where they ship it from, as long as I get it.
Plus, you get all that great free streaming content, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Reyna, do you think she's just pissed off all get out from the get-go?
Yeah? Wouldn't you be?
Well, why did she kill the first person? She didn't even know what she looked like then.
Oh, I think that was just panic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so she killed the first person, and then she killed the other two, and then she sees her reflection, and then she's really distraught.
Well, she would have seen at least her hands before that, so she would have known something was off.
Right.
And again, okay, I pointed this out on Twitter, and I'd like to point this out again for the record. She's like, My grandmother told me I'd be an angel. I think you need to go back and reread the biblical description of angels. They're not from the Hallmark cards with the feathery wings and the long hair. They're a billion eyes on fire, or like a bunch of wheels on fire.
Yeah.
Or like a couple of lions stuck together on fire. So you gotta be careful what you wish for here.
Yeah. And if her grandmother knew anything about Inhumans, I don't think that's what she would have told her.
Yeah.
Because that is not how things work out for the Inhumans a lot of times.
Yeah, well, you never know, because their mindset could have shifted with somebody like Sierra bringing you through the Terrigenesis and realizing the value of what has happened to you. So it's just a different way to look at it. And boy, am I having a great time speaking tonight.
Take a drink of water, take a deep breath.
Yeah. Okay, so Bobby visits Skye, and she thinks Skye's a rock star. I'm wondering how much of that is just a front that Bobby is showing her, because Bobby and Mac, we've said what we thought was happening, or you ladies have said that anyway. And I tend to believe that they're actually spying for another spy organization, whatever. But Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is taking these two into the ground right now, and it's a little bit pissing me off.
Okay, here's my thoughts. I don't think they're Hydra because we've already done the whole Hydra infiltration of S.H.I.E.L.D. thing.
Mm-hmm.
So as a story, it's redundant to do that right away at this point. I think they're from either another spy organization or maybe even from Talbot or somebody that's a good guy, but that is, after everything that's happened with S.H.I.E.L.D., yeah, we're going to let them keep running, but we got to have our people in there too to keep an eye on things. I think that's what's going on.
So sort of like May from the end of last season?
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was thinking. They want to find Fury's files. Obviously, they can't know Fury's alive because there's only like 3 people right now who know Fury's alive. But why would they want his files? Well, they'd need, obviously, something out of him. What would they need out of him? Maybe something from like the history of S.H.I.E.L.D. or
blueprints for a new helicarrier.
Yeah, some kind of operating protocol, or I don't know, something that's on those files that wasn't leaked with the stuff that Black Widow did.
Could they have a misperception of what it is and think it's actually a weapon in and of itself?
I don't know. They might.
Yeah.
But my theory is they might just want to see if Coulson's on the up and up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be. You know who else is not on the up and up? And that would be Bakshi.
I think we knew that.
I love this guy.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I could have sworn he would have seen Hunter at some point during the first half of the season, but apparently not.
No, because Bakshi, I'm trying to remember. Okay, I don't think he would have seen him at any of the time that he was in S.H.I.E.L.D. custody. And I don't think Hunter was really doing a lot of big out in the open S.H.I.E.L.D. operations that Bakshi might have had access to seeing. I could be wrong. I'd have to go back and rewatch.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always just a good excuse to go back and rewatch, isn't it?
Right.
Any excuse, right. So, regardless, I think they've been feeding Bakshi at least misinformation, because that was evident in this whole Coulson writing the script of this whole action scene for...
You'll never take us alive.
I almost spit my drink out when I saw that. Like, really? If you don't know already, this is the point where the kids figure out...
You knew from the point that they shot May, you're like, well, they're not going to kill May. And then he does that line, and you're like, bah!
You know what this means.
Yeah,
it means May's going to be a badass.
Yeah, should have figured out from that. That was a bit cheesy, but once we found out Coulson wrote the script, it was like, yeah, I can see that.
Yep.
Okay, again, Bobby takes off with the motorcycle, by the way, and this is the same motorcycle that we've seen in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Is that the same motorcycle that is in the Avengers movies?
I don't think so, because I think it's Cap's bike.
I don't think so.
Yeah, in Avengers.
Right. All right. Just wondering. I haven't had a chance to do shot-by-shot comparison, but they definitely have the motorcycle motif going on. But yeah, that was kind of when May is driving and you see the camera shot is looking right at her, and she comes up on that other cross street, and you see that big white thing coming at her. You're like, yeah, and you don't know. Is it Talbot? Is it Hydra? Is it a setup? You don't know, but you figure it out. After the commercial break, by the way.
See, when they got hit, I was thinking, okay, well, no. Before that, it was when they were talking in front of Bakshi. I'm like, there's no way they're this dumb. This has to be a setup. They're leaking information for him to like go and leak to other Hydra people, something. And then they got hit and I'm like, oh, they're going to fake his escape. And then, yes, when May got shot, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, they're faking his escape. And then the "You'll Never Take Me Alive" happened, and I just lost it.
It's hard not to. Oh.
I maintain, I think he got all of his dialogue inspiration from old Captain America comics and radio serials.
I like that theory. Headcanon accepted.
I really do.
Radio dramas, maybe even?
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Just listen to that dialogue from Peggy Carter and tell me I'm wrong.
I think you mean Betty Carver.
Betty Carver, yes.
It was funny when he said if May would have written the dialogue, nobody would have said anything.
Well, you don't need to.
Right. You know what this means? All right.
Cal seemed to know a lot about the index, and it sounded like he was actually going to go to those people to try to start stirring up trouble for S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah. And then he did that creepy happy dance.
Yeah, the creepy happy dance.
Oh.
I'm so glad we still have him for the second half of the season. Whitehall is supposedly dead, and it's comic book dead, right? So
yeah,
you never know. But we have Cal around, so it's just going to be exquisite. Do you think it'll be like last year with Garrett, and we will lose Cal at the end of the season here?
Oh, I hope not.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to kill him off, but they might send him away for a little while.
Okay.
Have him in prison for a little while.
Yeah.
Part of me would really like to see him have some sort of Darth Vader end of life realization of, oh my God, I messed up. But then have the opportunity to, not die and make amends. I want to see him rehabilitated way more than I want to see Ward rehabilitated.
Yeah, and then he can just go off and be a doctor in Africa or something.
Or maybe have dysfunctional adventures with the S.H.I.E.L.D. team. It could happen.
Could happen.
We did not see Ward. We did not see Agent 33 in this, so we don't know what's going on with those two.
It sounded like they might even thought that Ward was dead, too.
Well, Skye did shoot him, 4 times?
Yeah, Skye did shoot him 4 times in the chest.
Yeah, 3-4 times right in the chest. And I think when Simmons was shooting at Raina, it looked like she hit her right in the back of the head.
You think? I couldn't tell.
The back of the head or the neck or something. Something that should have hurt. She should have felt it.
Yeah, but then again, she's apparently made out of spines now, so
yep.
Who knows how that affects bullets.
She cuts herself when she moves. Oh.
Which reminded me of Penance from X-Men.
Oh, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah, there's a character, Monet St. Croix, that for a while there, she's known as Penance, and she's in this weird suit. And then for a while, there's Speedball, actually. Robbie Baldwin.
It made me think of Spike from X-Men Evolution.
Yeah, that too. When he drinks that weird, energy drink and gets that
super mutated
growth that leads him to go live with the Morlocks.
Yep.
But yeah, for a while there, Speedball wears the Penance uniform and it's all spiky and cuts him because he's sad because he caused Civil War to happen.
My bad.
Yeah, actually, I read that not long ago, and it sounded like there were spikes inside it, too.
There were.
One for each person who died during that incident.
He had problems.
Or something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, somebody else that has problems is definitely Skye, and we talked about it before, but Fitz, he initially recoils about what's going on with Skye, especially when she starts quaking. And then he comes back and acts as the benevolent person about it, but eventually they're all going to find out. How's that going to go?
Right.
Yeah.
And actually lies to Simmons, which shocked me.
Yes, when Simmons finds out, and especially when she finds out that Fitz helped hide it,
she's not going to be happy.
She is not going to be happy. That rift between them is just going to grow huge. It's going to be like a Grand Canyon size rift.
Right, but he was planning on helping Skye from the second he found out, because as soon as he left, he went to change the DNA results.
Yeah.
That's why he left, is to do that.
Yeah, I feel, Fitz in this episode, oh my God.
Yeah. Everything
about Fitz in this episode, my poor baby.
I know. He was having problems with the tech stuff, and he was just shaken up. Everybody was.
Well, yeah, he was shaken up, but
he's so sweet.
Relating to Mac on that level and being like, yeah, I get what you're going through. And then him relating to Skye and being like,
you're just different now, and there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong. You're just different now. Oh my God.
But no, when he was trying to get Simmons to go take care of her room, lots of lady things, and she's a slob. And his little hand gesture that means bra.
Well, she is a hacker, no-dos and...
Not notorious for their cleanliness.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and everyone had a one-on-one scene with Skye during the episode, too, which was, I think, nice. Foreshadowing how they'll react when they find out, it seems like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, did Mac have a one-on-one?
No. He had his one-on-one with Fitz.
Yeah.
He did, and that was a difficult scene to watch because they were both going through some... Adam, you mentioned before, he's probably coming out of whatever, and Fitz is just shaken up so he can't even think about... He said his thoughts are all scrambled and whatever, so... Yeah, this was a shake-up episode and was dealing with the aftermath, but it wasn't just all, hey, we've had a big climax and then boom, we're just going to relax back and deal with everything. This was action-packed too, so I think this is well done. A good mid-season premiere.
Definitely.
Definitely. I can't wait until next week.
Okay, so they had the big family argument down in Sky's quarantine zone 2.
Right.
Yeah.
Which we haven't talked about yet.
That reminded me of the arguing in front of Loki's scepter scene from Avengers.
Yeah.
Yeah, kinda.
Me too.
Except instead of Hawkeye coming and messing everything up, yeah, that was not what stopped that argument. I really, really thought that Sky was going to blow something up.
Like crack open the room.
Yeah.
No, but her vitals go crazy. And there's no nurse or anything that's like, oh, her heart rate's at almost 200. Maybe I should check on that. It's like, why even have her hooked up to machines?
Maybe their nurses also double as field agents.
All the techs died in Atalan. Raina killed him.
Oh, God.
I know, but why are they even monitoring her vitals if nobody's going to check that out?
I don't know. They can go back and look at them later.
Well, it's all being recorded on the iPhone 5 or whatever is on her arm.
That's just to keep track of her steps. She's on a diet.
Yeah, I kept calling her the little thing that Fitz was messing with. I kept calling it her Fitbit.
Yeah, pretty much.
She does have the option for healthy food and non-healthy food. Bobby took care of that.
Trail mix and Snickers.
All right, so it started and ended with the whole dealing with Trip, and in the middle you had Coulson actually bringing... Bobby packed it up, and then... I think it was Bobby, right? And then Coulson took the suitcase back to Trip's mom. So that was an overarching theme throughout the entire thing. And then at the end was the statement, we're going to laugh a lot less. And I'm wondering if that's an indication of what's going to happen the second half of the season.
Yeah, I mean, this group is getting ready to fracture because we've got Sky and Fitz keeping a secret from the group, and we've got Mac and Bobby keeping a secret from the group. And Simmons is ready to go off the deep end at any moment. It's not going to be pretty.
No. And you've got May talking about rank, and you've got Hunter that thinks he has part of a secret, but he doesn't because of the support group. Yeah, right, whatever. Oh, I haven't talked about the truck. It's awesome with like the 10 gazillion guns in it.
The Men in Black trunk.
Yeah, they shop at the same car place that apparently Fury got his in Captain America 2 from.
Winter Soldier, yeah.
Don't you think Hydra should have a better gate than that, though?
Yeah.
Like, I was expecting them to like try and ram it and to bounce off of it or something, but nope, just right through.
Yeah, well, if they did bounce off, they'd probably put a big, huge Hellfire missile or something out the top and take care of it. So,
well, that would have been cool.
Oh, yeah, all the machine guns in the car.
Right. Unlimited ammo, unlimited storage space. We're all good. All right, what else do we have when we talked about?
Well, when Gordon comes back at the end to grab Raina.
Oh, yeah, that was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Trapped in the middle of the freeway. Were those Hydra or were they Talbot's men or S.H.I.E.L.D?
I want to say they were probably Talbots or S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure. But yeah.
But the way the light was coming off of him, it almost looked like Angel's wings coming out of his back.
Oh, yes.
It looked like he had done like a time bubble around her to time dilation kind of thing so he could talk with her before escaping.
Yeah.
Well, if you can teleport, I mean, eventually you'd have to figure that stuff out, right?
Yep. It kind of reminded me of the way Lockjaw's teleportation powers work in the comic. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
The way he was like bumping around at the beginning, it was reminding me of Nightcrawler at the beginning of X2.
I wrote Blind Crawler in my notes.
Yeah.
Nice. Anything else we missed so far?
I have a ton of quotes.
Go.
Okay. I think you're a rock star, but we already said that. Okay. It's going to be okay, beautiful. I'll show you the way.
Uh-huh.
And then Gordon says later, it's okay, beautiful. I'll show you the way.
Right.
I loved that echo right there.
Some nice symmetry. And then when they were talking, I don't know what would happen with these poor souls if they didn't have you to take care of them. They would be lost. And then we cut straight to Sky.
Yes.
Just everything about that is making me sad.
I know. She was able to help all of these other people through the transformation, but she's not there for her own daughter.
And then Whitehall ruined everything.
Dick.
Oh.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, and then I also have most of the scene between Reyna and Cal quoted.
Oh, yeah.
I was supposed to become something divine, something transcendent. My grandmother said I'd be an angel, not some gnarled freak of nature covered in thorns. You always did like flowers.
Yep.
Dick.
What a dick.
Well, actually, that was a good comment because I was like, wow, equating the thorns to rose bushes or whatever. I was like, hey, well, that's something.
Not much, but something.
It's your lifelong dream. It's lifelong. I can't live like this. My insides feel like gravel. I cut myself when I move. I can't live as this repulsive creature. Then don't.
Oh.
Serious D-bag move right there.
I know.
Serious.
What a dick.
Do you think she was trying to get hit by a car in that last scene?
Yes. Yes, she was. I am absolutely 100% positive.
There was that, and then the next step was suicide by cop.
Yeah.
That's true.
Drop the accent. It makes you sound like a douchebag.
How do you think I feel living in this country all this time? Or whatever it was he said.
Yeah. The two of them in the... Oh, well, I mean, they have experience in SUVs, so, you know.
Well, yeah.
You think it's the same one?
Probably. They don't have that many.
Oh my god, if they've like banged in every SUV in that little bitty fleet.
They seem to have a lot more people working for S.H.I.E.L.D. in this episode than the rest of the season put together.
Yeah. Maybe they borrowed some of Talbot's guys for their little play.
Yeah, or maybe they recalled a bunch of people.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Like deal with an emergency.
Or are training them or something. I don't know. You got any more quotes?
Good catch, soccer hands. Come on, girl.
Oh, yeah. Right before we're all going to laugh a lot less. Yeah.
Yep. I think that's it.
All right. Lauren, you out?
Yep. Otherwise, it's just going to be a lot of, sad noises.
Yeah. Adam, are you out?
Yeah, I didn't have any quotes.
Well, I mean, anything else about the episode?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Well, it was a great episode. Looking forward to next week. And thank goodness, Arrow and Flash are on a 2-week hiatus right now, but we still have a Marvel show on. Yay!
Flash had a 3-week hiatus. Arrow only had 2 weeks.
Yeah. We're still good. All right. Moving on to the news segment, we have a little bit of ratings for the episode, don't we, Adam?
Yeah, I just found out they had a 1.6 share with 4.48 million viewers. I don't have any historical stuff to compare that to before the break.
Yeah, I've got them. And it's pretty similar to what it's been doing for most of the season for Live Plus Same Day. I mean, that's at the lower end of their range, but they've been going from a little above 4 to the season opener was the highest at 5.98. But it's mostly been 4.5 to a little over 5.
It's a little bit funneling to me because it is a good show, and the last couple of episodes have been great, so...
Well, it usually sees about a 50% bump when you add in DVR viewers.
Same Day plus 7.
Yeah.
And it could be that it's the first week back, so people who weren't watching Agent Carter might not have realized that this was the week it came back.
Right, because those are right at the numbers that Agent Carter was getting.
Yeah. I know a lot of people wait for the free Hulu to pop in the next week, because a lot of people at my work do that. Like the guy who works across the hall from me at work just approached me today, said, "Hey, look, last night I just watched Agent Carter." I'm like, okay, you talking about valediction? He's like, yeah, it was great. I'm like, okay. Yeah. Hulu? Yeah, got it. So, yeah, 4.48. I think that's up a little bit from Agent Carter last week. I think it was a 4 for Agent Carter last week, or 2 weeks ago, I guess, the last time I saw the number. So hopefully we'll see some increase by the end of the year. And as we get closer to Avengers as well. I don't know how much of a crossover there's going to be, but I assume there's going to be a small one. And then we have some episode names for some upcoming episodes.
Yes, we do. Next week, Who You Really Are. Episode 13, One of Us. Episode 14, Love in the Time of Hydra.
Okay.
And episode 15, One Door Closes.
You see, the 13th episode, One of Us, makes me think that they actually listen to this podcast. Because of Lauren's love of Spartacus.
Yes.
One of us. One of us.
One of us.
See, that's their homage to us. They put it in the actual episode name. It's great.
I'm guessing that one's probably going to have to do with, like, the Inhumans.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, based on the trailer, too. Well, it seems like Skye is about as good at keeping secrets as Thea is on Arrow, so...
Yeah.
So she might not be around S.H.I.E.L.D. for a while after next episode.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what Coulson does too, because he feels responsible, and I watched the episode right beforehand. He did not want her to go down there. So we'll just see how it all works out there. Adam, you had a chance to read the S.H.I.E.L.D. #3 comic that just came out, didn't you?
Yeah, it came out last Wednesday, but I didn't get a chance to call it in last week. So
we had you on the podcast to explain it to us.
yeah, that's fun how that works out.
Yeah.
So this one had Spider-Man as the guest superhero.
Oh, this is still in the 616 universe, right?
Yes, it is, which relates to something I'm going to mention in a bit. But basically, Coulson calls in Spider-Man to help investigate a break-in at Doctor Strange's house because Doctor Strange isn't available, and Spider-Man's spider sense will help them get through all the dangerous magic and stuff, find the least dangerous route to where they're looking.
So which Spider-Man shows up?
It's Peter.
Okay. Which Peter Parker? Because, hey, right now there's a whole bunch of them running around.
Well, they didn't really get into that.
Okay, good. That's complicated.
Actually riding there on Lola's hood, which Coulson wasn't exactly happy about.
Don't touch Lola.
Commented on him potentially not being the first bug that gets splattered on Lola's windshield.
Oh, we did talk about it in the episode spot, but, Mac brings up the fact, maybe you'll let me work on Lola. And Coulson said, yeah, well, it was a great model. Does it fly? No.
Didn't have room for flight capabilities with the scanners in there.
Yeah,
I know, right?
Yeah, but one thing I'm kind of disappointed about was when this first started, they made a big deal out of it bringing May and Fitzsimmons into the 616 universe, and none of them were in it.
Oh, did they have the monkey thing in the back with Fitz?
Oh, yeah, there was that, but
okay,
none of them were in the main story. And Simmons had a decent role in the second issue, but Fitz and May have basically had cameos in the first one, and that's it so far. So
boo.
Hopefully that changes before everything gets mixed up with their big
reboot
relaunch.
Yeah,
because I don't know what's going on with S.H.I.E.L.D. and all that.
Yeah, it hasn't been brought up anywhere.
Yeah,
but since this is set in the 616 universe, which is set to be reboot, then we'll see how that goes. It might be a short-lived series.
Yeah, at the very least, if it does continue, they'll probably use this as an excuse to bring Quake into the team as a regular member.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Could be. So we also got a real treat this week. I didn't even know it was scheduled to come out, and all of a sudden I get this tweet from the operator, "Ooh, Age of Ultron teaser trailer!" I'm like, what are you talking about? So I took a look at it, and it was awesome, wasn't it, Lauren?
Yes, it is. I spent most of my morning watching it like 1 billion times in a row.
1 billion!
1 billion!
1 billion viewings.
1 billion viewings. Okay, so we're linking the YouTube version, and I also found an analysis on Business Insider that goes kind of main beat by main beat, and things that you see. Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch meeting with Ultron. You get a little bit more information about what the plot might actually be about in terms of Tony Stark feeling guilty about creating Ultron.
Yes.
It seems to be kind of teasing Bruce Banner and Natasha Romanoff kind of maybe being friendly together.
Making out, getting it on. Boom, chicka, bow, wow.
That doesn't actually show them making out.
No.
But they do look awfully cozy.
As close to kissing as you get on a Nicholas Spark cover.
Tony Stark with Loki's scepter in his hand. Ultron doing various villainy things. Scarlet Witch using her powers on Natasha to make her eyes glow red. Quicksilver punching out Captain America.
Yes.
That does not look fair.
No. But awesome CGI.
Thor doing a classic movie mistake of saying, "Is that the best you can do?"
You had to ask.
That is not the best they can do. Cap seriously not approving of Thor's bravado.
Yeah.
Natasha being awesome.
Yeah.
And Vision.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually got a second view of Natasha jumping out of the Quinjet in a bike. So I don't know if that's the second time she's done it in the movie or just a different shot of it, but it's definitely different.
I don't know, but it's cool.
It is.
There's that whole "I'm always picking up after you boys" line where she then swerves around and picks up Cap's shield.
I know, that was cool.
I love it.
And then pulling out 2 short lightsabers.
Oh,
yeah. Her little glowy sticks. Like glow sticks of death.
Yeah. So it looks like Tony upgraded her equipment. I wonder if he upgraded everyone else's. Like, is Hawkeye going to have a really, really fancy bow in the last fight?
I don't know. There was an article that we'll link to, an MTV article, which interviews Jeremy Renner, and we're not going to go into it too much, but it did talk about him getting an upgraded bow from Tony Stark, and that was about it in the interview. So Tony's been busy, and after Iron Man 3 and Winter Soldier, he's probably been secluded in Avengers Tower, so he's probably been working quite a bit. I mean, one would assume it would take a lot to create Ultron.
I don't see this guy as being the kind to take a lot of downtime. Even in the downtime we see in the movies, he's fixing a car, doing a lot of supermodels.
See, I don't know. If I had Pepper Potts to distract me, I don't know. I mean, I might actually be distracted.
Yeah, but she actually goes to work during the day, so he's, at home by himself.
Yeah, she's the responsible adult in the relationship.
Well, there's Agent Hill around too, so, yeah.
She's busy these days too.
I do love the new Captain America costume now that we've been getting some better looks at it. It seems almost like a cross between the Winter Soldier one and the more traditional Avengers one.
I'm going to have to watch that again because I'm really curious about those red strips in his costume to see if they're actually functional or if they're just flare or whatever. So I'll have to watch that again to see. Thanks for reminding me. I forgot to watch. It was just so cool just watching it over and over again. Well, talking about watching things over and over again, we have something that I'm just too old to take part of, but Haley might be young enough to.
Youngin'.
Okay, so AMC is doing the big mega marathon where they're going to show all the Marvel movies leading up to the premiere of Age of Ultron.
And we're not talking about the AMC channel. We're talking about AMC theaters.
Right. So you can sit in a theater for 25 straight hours. Yay!
Yes.
Yay!
Not going to happen.
Oh, and you know what? They did not take into account the runtime of Age of Ultron after that, which is going to be, what, 2.5 hours, probably?
Yeah, I think it's 2.5 hours.
So yeah, you're looking at like 28 hours parked in the movie theater, and it does not look like they scheduled bathroom breaks into this.
Or sleep breaks, for that matter.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's not that big a deal, because when I do my movie marathon, I might not sleep, but I'll be doing it from the comfort of my couch and taking bathroom breaks and making my own popcorn for 40 cents a bag instead of $4 a tub.
Yeah, I'm so glad we did that rewatch last summer of all the Marvel movies because I might just hit the highlights as we enter into Avengers 2 here, including Guardians of the Galaxy.
Well, you just put it on the background for like a week.
I might just watch like Avengers and then everything after Avengers.
Yeah, and I believe it's $70 for the whole event.
It's not, I mean, you gotta think some people are going to be cosplaying. It's probably going to be a fun atmosphere.
Right, but I mean, I've got all the Blu-rays, so I'm good.
I'm not, when I went to San Diego Comic-Con, I didn't even do 28 hours straight at the comic. I went back to my hotel and I slept a little bit. Not as much as I would have liked to, but I can't do that. I'm sorry. I'm just too old.
No, we've got a big TV. I've got the Blu-rays. We'll order some pizzas. We'll do it here. It'll be fine.
Adam, you getting set to do that?
Between all my other stuff I'm watching, probably not. I'll probably at least watch the first Avengers one right before I go or something.
Yeah, I'll probably watch Avengers and Cap.
Cap 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe Iron Man 3.
Yeah, maybe. Because Guardians of the Galaxy, I don't think is going to do that.
No.
And if you want to hear about our thoughts on all these great movies, you can go back into our history and you can find podcasts on all 10 Marvel movies. So we were awesome. And by the way, the Guardians of the Galaxy podcast was the first Gonna Geek Network Guardians of the Galaxy's podcast on the movie. So just want to get that plug in again. All right. So we have a little bit of tidbit on maybe somebody that we thought was confirmed, but really isn't, to write and direct Spider-Man.
Yeah. So it's kind of been a rumor for, I guess, I don't know, maybe the past week or so. And it's certainly being reported by Latino Review a couple days ago, but it has not been confirmed that Drew Goddard of Cabin in the Woods, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Angel, might be the one to write and direct the new Spider-Man movie. I swear that I heard a day or two ago that he said that this was not true, but in the days ahead, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it and we'll get back to everybody next week.
Yeah.
Latino Review is usually a better source for rumors than other places.
Yeah.
So you could do worse. And also with Spider-Man and things that are maybe not happening, there was a short list of people who were being considered to play Peter Parker, and one of them was Dylan O'Brien from The Maze Runner and Teen Wolf. And everyone was like, it's a certainty that he's going to play him. No.
Nope, he's too old. He's too old at what, 23?
Yeah, but he looks like he's 16.
Yeah.
He does look really young. But he said that, no, he hasn't been approached about it, and he's only heard about it from rumors online.
He said he's flattered.
Yeah.
But he hasn't been officially approached by anybody yet.
So as far as we know, this guy's not playing Peter Parker.
Yeah, we'll find out who's playing Peter Parker. We'll find out if J.K. Simmons, Mr.
We'll find out if the Spider-Man will be Peter Parker. I'm still hoping for Miles Morales.
Yeah, there's also Ben Reilly, I believe, right?
Yeah, Ben Reilly. There's Kane, but with Ben Reilly and Kane, you'd have to get into the cloning bit, and that's a little bit complicated.
Mm-hmm. We're pretty sure, though, that from what I've read, is that we're delving straight into a known Spider-Man, and we're not going to see an origin story.
Yeah, in that same Latino Review article, they do say Spider-Man's going to exist at the beginning of it, and that Sony is planning to do 3 spectacular Spider movies coming out in 3 years in a row.
Yeah, they were talking about before the Marvel Sony announcement that they were going to do a separate Sinister Six movie, and now they're talking about bringing those villains into a Spider-Man movie and not a separate movie. So we'll see what happens and how this all shakes out and what the Spider-Man universe is going to look like within the Marvel universe and that sort of thing. But this is all actually really exciting. It's so exciting, as a matter of fact, that Hugh Jackman continues to get hounded as he's going out there promoting his Chappie movie on whether or not he thinks it's a possibility for Wolverine to be involved in the Marvel Cinematic Universe or have an Avengers crossover, or whatever you want to call it. And what is he going to say? No. Yeah, he's saying yes, I'd love to do it. But he's also said in the past, I don't think my character is going to be around that long. But now he's saying it's a possibility to happen in 2 years. And he's not involved in any of the negotiations, but he was so shocked by the Sony Marvel announcement that he actually believes that anything is possible right now. So it's hard to say no. I mean, with the amount of money that's being thrown into these movies, you never know.
Oh, yeah, that was another thing in the Age of Ultron teaser. Something happened that looked like his claws extending, but it clearly wasn't. They weren't shiny enough.
Yeah, I was looking at the pictures of that. First of all, they're squared off at the end. They're being held by a mechanism in somebody's hand. And looking at the shoulders and outfit of the person who's doing that, and it's behind somebody's back, I'm wondering if it's supposed to be Ulysses Claw. Like the character, not the actual Claw.
Okay.
Who in the comics uses like a sound ray, but I'm wondering if they decided to just give him a claw.
Subtle.
I know, right?
I was wondering if it could be Hawkeye pulling out his bow and it sort of snapping out. Like I said, if Tony gave him a better bow, that could...
So it's going to be like Arrow's new one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to bring that up, that Arrow has a new collapsing bow, whatever, and Marvel might be like, we're not going to be outdone by that. So they might be doing something really cool for Hawkeye. So never know. Say, we're coming up on just over a month before April 10th, and that day seems to be in my mind for some reason. I'm not sure.
Is it? I think April 12th is Game of Thrones.
Okay. So I have in my calendar sick day for...
Oh, a little Netflix show is starting.
Oh, yeah.
Really? Oh.
Daredevil.
Oh, that's why the sick day. Okay, go ahead.
All right. We've got some pictures now coming from Daredevil. First, we've got the first look at Kingpin, which is Vincent D'Onofrio with a shaved head.
Mm-hmm.
And his head has the perfect level of roundness for Kingpin right now.
It really does.
I read some of these articles and it mentioned that he put on 30 pounds of muscle for this. I don't know if it's muscle or not. The article said it was muscle, but I don't know. Anyway, 30 pounds of muscle so he could be a beefier Kingpin.
Yeah, well, because the Kingpin is, if you ever read the comics or watch the cartoons or anything, he'll tell you his body is almost 90% muscle. And then he'll try to crush Spider-Man.
Yeah, in Ultimate Comics, Spider-Man makes a lot of fat jokes at him. But the thing is, he's a big guy, but it's all muscle.
Yep, and he's quick, too. He'll tell you, he's quick. But we also got pictures of more Daredevil stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yes!
Which has Charlie Cox in the black ninja blindfold Daredevil suit.
Mm-hmm.
Which looks suitably homemade.
Well, yeah. He's got his tactical turtleneck on.
His tactile neck, if you will.
This is definitely going to be a different look, different feel for Marvel at a time where they're transitioning out of their first phase and phase 2 Marvel movies into a more magical phase 3. Ant-Man, we all have our doubts about that. But with Jessica Jones and Daredevil coming out this summer on Netflix, having the more homemade look to it is definitely appealing. And I don't know if that would have been appealing to me prior to these 10 movies of awesomeness, but that's just me.
Yeah, and then also in this picture, we've got Rosario Dawson stitching up Daredevil.
OMG, Night Nurse.
Yeah, we also have a couple of people talking about Daredevil, right, Lauren?
Yes, we do. So one of those pictures, you can see a rather heavily tattooed guy talking to Charlie Cox in the ninja outfit. That person is showrunner Stephen DeKnight, who you may, or who I definitely know from Spartacus. And he and Charlie Cox did an interview in the magazine Empire, which we're linking to on the website joblo.com.
Which every time I read that, I see joblo.com.
Yeah.
It does kind of look like
Jonah Lobster.
But on what to expect from Daredevil, and that it's supposed to be like a lot more ambiguous, and it shows the poster where it's Matt Murdock in his lawyer getup, but looking a bit beat up with the red sunglasses. I think we've mentioned before that they want the tone of it to be like The Wire and classic cop movies from the 70s.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this.
It's going to be so good.
All good stuff. You know, I bet you the episode descriptions are out by now. I haven't seen them, but I'll look for them.
I haven't seen them either.
Okay. So they might not be available, but if they are, I'll look for them, and we might put them in the show notes to talk about next week. What we do have, though, are several articles that talk about Agent Carter showrunners or producers or whatever talking about the postseason Q&A. And I was looking at, well, is there going to be a season 2 announcement? No, there is no season 2 announcement. They're saying ABC normally does their stuff at the beginning of May or before May or mid-May or whatever. So they're expecting an announcement then on what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's called May Upfronts.
Okay, May Upfronts for ABC. And then also they were talking about the possible story arcs that have been left open.
Yes.
For a possible season 2 or whatever they decide to do with this. And Lauren, do you remember anything about that?
Yeah, they're talking about the Zola thing and obviously the connection with Winter Soldier and with Hydra infiltrating S.H.I.E.L.D. In the interview with Michelle Fazekas and Tara Butters, they mentioned the parallels between the end of Captain America, the first Avenger, and the end of Agent Carter, where she's talking to Howard. And in the one with the producers, they're talking about some things that they wanted to do that they had to cut for time, that if they get a season 2, that they want to bring in as plot points. Like a girls' night out with Angie might play into season 2.
That would be great.
Maybe digging a bit more into Peggy's background.
Yeah, because she was in New York in the 42.
Yeah. So come on, ABC, let us see more of this.
Yeah, definitely.
We can do it.
Do it.
Do it.
One other thing that they mentioned that I remember reading was that they were talking about Dum Dum was actually supposed to be up in the plane and Jarvis was supposed to be on the ground talking to Howard Stark as he was closing in on downtown Manhattan to destroy it. But they couldn't get Dum Dum because the actor was otherwise engaged.
Yeah, that guy's in everything.
Yes, he's great.
Yeah, I think it works better this way, though.
I do too. Like, it really raised the emotional stakes.
It would have been good seeing Dum Dum back again. You would have had that, but I think we already had that with the episode that was in, I want to say Romania.
The Iron Ceiling?
Yeah.
I think that was the name of it.
I can't remember where it was. It was in Russia.
They landed in Poland and went to Russia.
Okay, there you go. So they already had that, so they didn't necessarily need to bring it back. And yes, this was great. Although Jarvis flying a plane, or his ability to fly a plane, still kind of amazes me. But okay. So moving on, we've got a couple last news items, and one of which we've been talking about for a while, and I'm so glad to actually see this news article. And Lauren, why don't you tell everybody what we're talking about?
All right, so I was getting ready to leave work today, and all of a sudden, one of my best friends IM'd me with OMG and linked me to a Twitter thing. And then I got really excited and had to link to the actual announcement, and this is our news item. Remember how we were complaining about how Black Widow didn't get a Pop Funko figure for Age of Ultron?
Yep.
They fixed it.
Guess what is fixed? She has one with the lightning sticks of death now. And she looks amazing.
You know, they might have not have wanted to announce that until they showed the promo with the light sticks. So that might have been the reason why she was absent from before.
I don't think the light sticks are enough of a spoiler. I think they might have just realized, oh, we messed up.
Yeah.
Or they actually listened to our podcast and they knew what we wanted and they brought it to us.
Well, obviously.
They were like, okay, we're going to sell at least 3 of them, so.
Yeah, there you go. 4 maybe, right, Adam?
Yeah, and one thing I like is this one looks like it has the regular size feet, not the little tiny ones that need the plastic base, because
Yes.
one of the female ones I have, the hole in the foot isn't right, so I can't put her on the plastic base on any of the ones I've tried.
Yeah.
Jerks.
All I've got is one, and that's Marty McFly, and he sits in the DeLorean, but he can stand on his own, too. So, our last thing, Adam, that we have in our news segment is a poster for next week's episode, and this is one of the most unique posters I've seen.
Yeah, and it has an article about it, too, but the poster has Sif hitting the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. logo with the sword, and it crumbling, and the logo has the faces of the main cast in it with Sky in the middle, so it's kind of open to question whether it's crumbling because of the sword or because of Sky's abilities, which is something that's mentioned in the article.
This was just a great, I mean, you got the sword, it's an actual cartoon.
Yeah, it looks like a comic book cover.
Right, which I don't think any of the posters have been like that before. So it's really cool. I'm really looking forward to, as we actually bring superheroes into this second half of this second season, where we actually get a lot of this stuff.
Oh, the guy who did the art on this did The Private Eye.
Yeah, nice. So thank you very much for bringing that to us, Adam.
Yeah, literally found it about 5 minutes before we started recording.
I know. I was looking at it going, I would like to have drooled over it more. And I probably will after I watch Star Wars, because I got to do that first.
Yes.
And that's it for our news segment. All right, feedback. We have a couple of tweets. One is Jeannie. She tweeted us during the episode that is one bad truck. So yes, it was. Jeannie, you said it first, and I piled on. That was awesome. Loved it. Richard at Kodiak GWC said, forget the Spider-Man reboot. Bring on the Inhumans movie. Yes.
Right? Yes.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
That and Ms. Marvel and Black Panther. They can all come out before Spider-Man. It's fine.
That would be great. And a couple of weeks ago, we talked about the shift in all the movies and that the Inhumans are actually shifted over because of Spider-Man movies. So hopefully we'll get this all figured out. And before I forget, this is Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. welcoming Jeannie at Aset Isis into the Gonna Geek fold for her podcast, Tyrion's Landing, and all the gals.
Yes, Jeannie, Rachel, and Nikki. Hey!
Yeah.
They have been gracious enough to let me record with them on occasion, and it's a great podcast about Game of Thrones. So, any of y'all who are interested in that, because it is a great show and a wonderful book series, give them a listen. They're fantastic.
Yep. Tyrion's Landing. And then I do their movie podcast with them, More Than Chick Flicks. So we're trying to fill in some of those movie gaps that keep coming up.
Yeah. I'm surprised it took this long for them to join the network, actually.
I know, right? Honestly, I thought they were already in it.
Yeah, it is kind of one big incestuous family. But yes, they officially joined, and we are so glad to actually have them. Also, we do have a voicemail.
Really? I'm on the show, so who would you get a voicemail from?
I'm not sure. I guess I'll just have to play it. Are you guys ready?
Ready.
Yep.
Hey guys, it is Operator. Just want to say 3 things. 1, great cast. Keep up the great work. Awesome.
Woohoo!
Number 2, Raina. Oh, we all need to evolve, and we're going to transform and evolve, and it'll be wonderful. Yeah, see what it got you? You see what it got you? Yeah, that sucks, doesn't it? Yeah, kind of, yeah. See what you get?
Yeah.
Jeez. And number 3, Avengers trailer. Oh, Avengers trailer was so sweet. So sweet. There was so much sweetness with the sweet. Oh, so sweet. Can't wait for that thing to come out. It is going to be epic goodness. Keep up the great work. Talk to you guys soon. Peace.
I don't know, between Operators, Avengers trailer, and Lauren's
Just say it.
Luke Cage. I don't know. You two have got, it's great. I got to bring up those sound decks to have on the podcast sometime. But yes, Operator, first of all, thank you very much for calling in. As you know, you're welcome on the podcast anytime. I know you're busy generally the nights that we record, but you are definitely welcome to join us. Also, Raina, yeah, we talked about that before. You know, what I didn't talk about before was when she put up the hood after Cal told her that maybe she shouldn't live or whatever, the clacking that was going on with like the wood sort of noise of what was on her head over the hood. It was like, oh. And yes, Avengers trailer, we just got done talking about that. That was awesome. So thank you very much, operator, for calling in. You can call in anytime. Matter of fact, I think we'd be okay with you calling in 3 times for one podcast. I'm not quite sure about that, but we'd have to run that by the executive producer. So, and then Adam, I don't know. Adam is our resident voicemail expert. Was that an okay voicemail?
Yeah, I'd say so.
You think he got it done?
Yeah, I mean, he talked a little bit about the episode, but...
Oh.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, you would rate it
7 or an 8, probably.
All right, that's the passing grade.
All right. You got to pipe up your game if you want to get more than a 7 or 8 rating.
Well, that's about what most of mine are, too, so...
Oh, you're welcome to call any of our podcasts, Adam. We enjoy hearing from you every week. Also, we did get a new... Guess what? We got a new iTunes review. Oh, it's so cool. Yeah, talking about ratings. It's a 5-star rating again. Yay! A great podcast about the Marvel TV shows. It's by TNNSBAW, and don't ask me how to pronounce that because I don't even know if you can.
He can't even pronounce words he's heard pronounced correctly, so you can't expect him to read and pronounce.
I can't talk this week either.
Krasnitsky?
Yeah, Krasnitsky. Yeah, right.
That time, I think you got it right.
Krasnitsky.
Okay, that time
there
you
we
did
go.
not.
That's better.
Oh, it only took like the whole season of Agent Carter to get it
now
right.
that the show's over.
We won't be hearing from Agent Krasinski again, unless it's like, what's his name with Mass Effect?
You didn't get it that time at all.
What's that, Jennings or whatever with Mass Effect? Anyway, Tinsba said, I look forward to listening to this podcast every week because of the host's great dynamic and knowledge of Marvel Comics. He's not talking about me there. He's talking about all of you. So thank you very much. Their enthusiasm for both Agent Carter and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. comes across through the airwaves and is really infectious. Definitely check out this podcast for great insights and fun banter about the Marvel TV shows. Thank you very much for sending this. We really appreciate this. You guys out there that don't produce podcasts might not realize this, but it really matters if you have iTunes reviews for your searchability for podcasts in iTunes. So the more reviews that we have, the more people can actually find us and listen to us and make this even a funner environment for people to give us more feedback and everything. So really appreciate each and every iTunes review we get and keep them coming. We really love it. Thank you very much for joining us this week. We really appreciate Adam. Thank you very much for joining us. We really appreciate you actually coming on the show so we can talk to you in person other than bantering back and forth across the voicemails. So thank you very much for joining us. Next week, we will be talking about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 2, Episode 12, Who You Really Are. Give us feedback. We have a website, voicemail, Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr. Hey, I started posting the episodes on Tumblr. I don't know if you noticed that or not. I was able to do that. That was great.
Yeah.
So our Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. Tumblr, you can check that out. I know I said, and I've been saying that we'll fix our YouTube channel. I should be able to do that this weekend, but I'm not going to promise anything.
He needs to watch Star Wars Rebels first, so cut him some slack.
Yeah, okay, thank you. We also have forums on the Gonna Geek Network. We have a Tapatalk app that you can go search for Gonna Geek, all one word. Find us. You can give us feedback on your Science of Marvel questions. We love those. How awesome Peggy Carter is, because we're going to be seeing more and more of Haley Atwell, so please do that. And hopefully we'll get more tweets of her kicking stuntmen's butts. So that'd be cool.
Indeed.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. We record generally live on Mixlr every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. We had a little bit of a shrimp.
9 p.m. Eastern.
Yes, 9
8 p.m. Central.
9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central on Wednesday nights. Had a little bit of a shrimp issue, so we had to move it to tonight. Sorry about that. That's one night later. We're recording on Thursday night instead of Wednesday, but we will be back Wednesday night next week. So thank you.
Yeah, jet lag coming back from Russia is a bit tough, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And by the way, Russia is surprisingly warm and sunny and full of sea turtles this time of year.
Go figure.
And S.H.I.E.L.D. director training takes place in the midst of a lot of snow, let me tell you. Try to obscure the satellites with those snowstorms, let me tell you. So thank you, everybody, for Mixlr for showing up.
Yeah, thanks, everybody, for listening and for sending us feedback. We really appreciate it.
Thanks to everybody who shows up and pays attention when I do my live tweets on Twitter. I really, really love doing them, and so it's nice to have y'all involved. And thank you again to Adam and to Neil and Jay and Lobster for filling in the past couple weeks
Yes.
while I was off communing with the Sea Turtles and becoming Black Widow.
Yeah, Sea Turtles and Black Widow, that goes hand in hand. Yeah, and Lauren, thank you very much for the live tweets. That was awesome watching that episode live Tuesday night and reading your tweets. I couldn't keep up. That was awesome.
It's one of the highlights of my weeks is doing that.
If you want, just go to the Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. Twitter account and go back to the Tuesday night that the episode is airing. You will see all the great tweets that actually Lauren gets favorited and retweeted by people that are working on the show. So that's how,
Really?
Yeah, that's how awesome you are. It's great.
Oh my God. I didn't know that.
Yeah, you got to pay attention to who's favoriting and who's retweeting the tweets the next time, Lauren. It's awesome. And once again, Adam, thank you very much for joining us.
You're welcome. Just figured might as well. Timing worked out even before having to reschedule.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, we really appreciate you on here. Well, until next time, I'm Agent Stargate Pioneer.
I'm Agent Haley.
I'm Agent Lauren.
And I'm Adam. Bye.
Bye. See you next week.
Bye.
Later.
Thank you for listening. If you want to leave us feedback, go to gonnageek.com and you will find all of our contact information and other shows. You can also visit legendsofshield.com where you'll find our complete archive of podcasts. The music heard on this podcast is by Kevin MacLeod and can be found at incompetech.com. The opinions heard on this podcast are those of the individual host and do not represent Legends, Stream, or Gonna Geek. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is the property of the Disney Corporation. No infringement is intended.